Okay, I'm going to try something new. I'm logged on to Lichess here. This is my account LBB86, and I'm going to play some tactical puzzles in my account. So these should be hard. They should be geared toward my puzzle rating. I'm a little reluctant to try this because these puzzles sometimes take me a long time to solve and it might be a little boring to watch, but let's give it a try anyway. I'll talk through my thought process. So my puzzle rating now is 2415. I'm on a big steep climb here. I can get my rating up if I take my time, and sometimes it takes me 10, 20 minutes to solve a puzzle, but if you're persistent, you can continue to solve these things. So here, pieces are equal. White has a couple pawns, but my development is terrible here. He's already castled. All of his minor pieces are out. I have to get this knight out, this bishop out. I have to castle. So being up a couple pawns is not worth this horrible development. So I better find a tactic to win some material here. Okay. So I have a bishop pointed in this direction at this rook. I can move this knight out of the way. If I had this queen and knight out of the way, I could take the rook and win the exchange. I can remove my knight with tempo by taking on f6 and calling check. He's got three ways to recapture, but he has to be careful. If he takes back with the knight, he loses protection of his bishop, and I win the bishop. I don't see a follow-up to that, so he doesn't want to take back with the knight. If he takes back with the pawn, then I have this battery, bishop and queen battery, and I would be able to take the rook and win the exchange. He would have to take my queen. I would take his queen, and then he would take my bishop. And so that wins me the exchange, and it removes some material off the board, so he can't kill me over here with my lack of development. So that seems good. But there was one move I was missing. Knight takes f6. The queen can recapture. I think that's the way to do it because then the rook would protect the other rook, and I no longer have queen takes rook. So do I have anything else after knight takes f6, queen takes f6? His pieces are guarded, the knight is defended and defending the bishop. The rook is defending the rook. These pieces are all out of play. I don't have much to work with here. I just have the queen, knight, and bishop to work with. I don't see anything after knight takes f6, queen takes f6. This move is no good. There's nowhere else to move it. Let's make a nice little spider here. Nowhere to move it. Wait a minute. Let's turn these moves around. Let's do it in a different order. What if I take the rook now? I think that's it. If he doesn't want to stay down material, he'd have to recapture with his queen. Then I would have knight takes f6 check. And regardless which of these two pieces he takes back with, the bishop will take the queen and recover the queen. He'd be able to take my bishop, so that would net me the exchange. So I would be in exchange and 2 pawns up. That all looks forced to me, and I don't see an immediate way for him to counterattack. Even though my development is still going to be poor, I should be able to get my knight out and castle. So I think that's it. Let's give it a try. Queen takes rook. Knight takes knight. Take the queen. Yeah, that was it. And the puzzle ended. So that puzzle that has a high rating, 2462. And that netted me 14 points. All right, let's try just one more since these take so long. Okay, what's going on here? So we each have 3 minor pieces, 2 rooks and a queen, and 7 pawns. So material's equal. This one can't be this easy. You're just looking at captures here. Bishop takes knight. Bishop takes bishop. No, his queen is covering the square. I thought I saw fork, king in here, but the queen has that square covered. So can we divert the queen? Can we decoy it off of the control of this square so we can take the knight and then fork the king and bishop on these squares? So for example, g6. He has to stay in protection of this square, I believe. And he can do that one way by moving the queen here. It's the only safe place. So g6 forces queen to f3. I like forcing moves, but there's no follow-up. Is there a follow-up? Don't see a follow-up. This doesn't work anymore. So what else is going on in the position? This bishop is loose, meaning nothing's protecting it. Is there any other way to decoy the queen besides g6? I don't think so. Can't do that. Can I turn the moves around? Knight to e2 check. Nope. I don't see anything after queen takes knight. Okay. He is vulnerable on this diagonal here. Can I put my queen on that diagonal and threaten that knight? Let's see, he can protect it like this. Ah, but if he does protect it like that, he just broke his queen's contact with the e2 square. So let's see, queen to b6. He either has to move his knight or protect it. And if he moves it, there's a bishop behind it. If he moves it here to protect the bishop, I can remove the knight first and then take the bishop. Or I have to be careful. If I move here and he moves the knight here, if I take it before recovering my bishop, he can take my bishop and attack my queen, but then I get his bishop with check, and then I can save this bishop. So queen to b6, I don't think moving the knight works, so he has to protect it. How can he protect the knight? Not with the queen, king, rook, rook, not with a pawn. It's got to be this move, which breaks that queen's defensive e2. So here it is, queen to b6, knight on 2 to f3, but I can't do what I originally wanted to do, take here first and then take back and fork, because after these moves, taking here allows the knight to take back. So let's change the order of the moves. Queen b6, knight f3, What about knight e2 check first? And then there are 3 attackers on that piece, so it's going to be lost unless he takes it. But then I get the bishop with check. And I don't see a follow-up other than winning this pawn. So did I analyze that correctly? Queen to b6, knight f3, knight to e2 check, knight takes e2, so he's up a piece. Got to recover my piece here with check. Yeah, I'm not... Did I do that right? Let's see. Queen b6, knight 1 to f3, check, takes, and then there's no follow-up. Oh, that's so promising. I hate when you see ideas and they just don't work. So queen to b6, knight 1 to f3 is forced. Then back to g6. Ah, that might be it. Because after g6, the queen, originally when I said g6, the queen cannot go to f3. I mean, the queen has to go to f3 to stay in contact with that square, and this is the only square the queen can go to. So maybe I play queen to b6 first, force the knight to the only square the queen could go to, then play g6, and the queen cannot stay on this diagonal anymore. For example, let's get those arrows back. For example, the queen can come here, and I still don't have this though. So let's see, here, 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 here. Yes, that's it. Okay, so I think it's queen b6 followed by g6. So let's make certain one more time. Queen b6, knight 1 f3, g6, and there's doesn't matter where he puts the queen, I don't think. You can put it here or here or here or here. One of those 4 squares marked with circles. And after that, I would take this knight and if he takes back with the bishop, I have knight to e2 check and forking the bishop. So he'd have to take back with the knight. Then I can play my knight to e2 check. His knight would take my knight, but I would take his bishop and fork that knight. Yes, I think that is it. Wow, that's pretty lengthy. Okay, I think I got it. Let's try it. I don't want to bore you going through it again. So queen here. Oh, it's a failure. Okay, let's view the solution. So that's first, huh? And then why doesn't the queen go back here? Well, let's see. So queen comes here. I'm going to turn the engine on. And that was my original idea. So let's see, what happens if after g6 the queen goes here? What does it suggest I do? Then queen here? Wow, this is complicated. So that's under attack. This knight can no longer guard it, so that queen is going to have to guard it. So that's forced. Then it suggests I take. Oh, that's nice. That's very nice. Excellent, excellent. Okay, so that does work. g6 first, then even if the queen goes here to stay in contact with that square, queen to b6 is going to work with an eventual fork on the king and queen. And if he goes here, then I just follow through with my original fork here on e2. But why didn't my order of moves work? Why can't I play queen here first, which gives equality? So that's what I expected. Knight from 2 to f3 to protect the knight. I wanted to cut off the queen. But then I wanted to play g6 after that. And it's suggesting queen h6, like I thought. And I must not have analyzed this correctly because I played this. Oh. He just doesn't take back. His knight comes in here and threatens a mate. If he does take back, like let's say he takes back with the knight, and then I have this, and I was expecting him to take, oh, and I was expecting to fork the king and the knight, but I didn't see the rook interceding here on f2 to protect it. So I had nothing there anyway. Wow, what a complicated puzzle. Okay, rating 2417. I won't bore you any further. Let's end the video here. Back down to 2416. So I gained a point in that transaction. All right, thanks for watching.